To learn to live the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Click the bell notification. It's all free. So I thought I'd do another this or that video. They seem to really do well. I know I keep saying that, but man, they sure do well. A really good watch time, really good view rates. Talking about random stuff really works. So first thing I want to talk about is chickens, just briefly. We have a broody chicken. She's laying on eggs that don't exist. Well, she made a fool out of me. She's been laying there for several days now, so she won't produce any eggs for 21 days. She's been broody for several days now. I don't know how many days exactly, so I suspect that we probably got another 2 weeks before she starts laying eggs again. Sure is a disappointment because our Americanas aren't old enough to produce yet. So Carolyn never tells me to get the camera out, but she did today. And the reason is because the other day she went to give them their treats and we walked down together. We got about here and they all started flocking. I mean, just flying towards to the fence. One actually flew right into the fence. I thought it was going to knock itself out. Yeah, here they come. I don't know if you can see them, but they get all excited. They're all coming running. They know what it is. Now, they didn't come flying as fast as they were last time, but they did get out here, so that's kind of disappointing. We was hoping that we could duplicate what happened the other day, but one of the Americanas come flying and hit the fence here, just slammed right into it. Since we mixed Two-Face, she's right there, and with the others, she has become so distant. She used to come right up to me and I would pet her, but not now, not anymore. Carolyn's shaking the food. So as you know, our primary wood storage center is full. I think there's about 10 cords of firewood here, roughly. It's hard to get an accurate measurement because we stacked it taller than we needed to. Some of the wood is smaller than the other pieces, and so approximately 10 cords. I'd like to have 15, so we've had to start putting it elsewhere. We still got all this up here to split. That's another third of a cord. And then finally, we got just a little bit over here left to split. You might be hearing Carolyn now splitting some. We've got this all over the property now. We got some on the back porch that's dry, and we're just going to use that probably in the December time frame. Here, we got some in the house. That's sycamore. We'll use that in the fall. This is also sycamore and that dried oak, so we'll got plenty to get us started for the winter. This won't even be ready until next year. That's not even a cord. It's probably about half a cord. I would say that's 8 feet long, 5 feet tall, so it's over a foot tall. So maybe a half a cord. So we started looking for other areas to store firewood. We would really like to be able to keep it close to the house, but it's just not possible. Right here, you may remember, I started building a root cellar, and then I stopped on it because I want to get a freezer, and I want to put a freezer in here, and the freezer will be our root cellar. It'll be an old freezer, it won't be working, but I can't find a freezer. I mean, we found stand-up freezers, we found refrigerators, we found everything but a chest freezer. Once I get a chest freezer, I'll lower that in there and we'll have a root cellar. And then we've decided that we're going to put a shed over the root cellar, and that'll be our dry storage for like rice and anything that won't freeze. So we can't put any firewood here because that's our root cellar and storage, food storage area. Of course, we got to make sure we keep the bugs and the mice out and all that. I mean, that's obvious information, but somebody's going to say, yo, you're going to have bugs and mice. So as soon as we get this finished, as soon as I find a freezer, and it'll only take about an hour to finish this once I find a freezer. Obviously, we're going to have to move on to a location that is too far away from the house. So down here in front of the chicken coop is a nice out of the way spot that we've decided that we were going to clean up. You see that I've kind of started cleaning this up over here. I got to knock the trees down, but I took the lawnmower and I kind of whacked all this down. I'm going to have to be careful over here. There's rocks. There's a fence in here. There's fence all over this property. So you may see the fence there. So I wasn't able to get into that, but I was able to knock down a bunch of saplings with the lawnmower. The rest of them I'll cut down. Cedar trees always go down easy. We got this spot here, and so we'll start running our firewood all the way down there. So that's going to be 100 yards away or so, but now that we got the lawnmower and the wagon with the tire chains on it, we'll be able to transport this up to the house. Now again, this may be sitting here for 11 years because we're going to use 1 cord of wood each year is our goal. We should be able to do that pretty easily. I've got pipe underneath here holding it up off the ground. A lot of people worry about bugs. I've talked about bugs and how to keep your wood preserved. First of all, this is oak. Oak's going to last for years as long as you keep it off the ground. Even if you didn't keep it off the ground, it would just be the bottom layer that would go bad. And then you put bug spray around it. You can put termite control around it. You can buy termite control from Lowe's or Home Depot, and it'll last for years. We'll cover it up with a tarp. So I had to use the lawnmower like a brush hog. Now I know that everybody's going to have different opinions about that, but I cleaned all this up today here, knocked all this brush down. I'm trying to extend this out a little bit so we have more storage. And so there was briar patches and sticky bushes, and oh, it was terrible. But the lawnmower did pretty good going through it. I didn't even take the trailer off. I had a load full of wood and I just kind of just mowed through it. I scraped myself up pretty good. I got over here, there's a big old tree laying down back there, so I wasn't able to get this down. I'm sure you can see the big thorns. So the problem with that is your lawnmower tires. Those thorns will go through lawnmower tires. So I'm going to show you the modifications I made to the lawnmower so it can do this kind of stuff. So you'll see, I think, it may be too hard to see, that those briars just scratched the heck out of the lawnmower. Here you'll see that it actually lifted up the decals. So some of the things you need to do to toughen up your lawnmower so it'll do these things, as long as you don't hit metal and rock, you should be okay. The instructions to the John Deere actually say it will chop up small saplings. So you saw that cedar tree that I ran over, no problem as long as you go slow. But one of the things I did to make sure that I don't damage the hood was this brush guard. This brush guard is absolute saver to the lawnmower. It just pushes that sapling down, and then it gets up underneath there and gets underneath the lawnmower, the mowing deck, and it cuts quite well. I really like how these little modifications has made this into a machine that's usable around here. So many people told me last year, you gotta have a tractor, gotta have a tractor. Well, I've got a nice little tractor here, the cheapest John Deere lawnmower there was at the store. The thing I was saying about the tires, the briar patches will go right through those tires. And what I did was I used slime. You can buy slime at the store. You put slime in each tire, and as it pokes a hole in the tire, you know you're going to poke a hole, that slime will fill in the hole, prevent you from getting a flat tire. I saw little specks of green, because the slime is green, all over this tire as it was poking holes. But you can see the tire's still well inflated. The back tire, I wouldn't be able to do anything on this property unless I put these chains on there. I showed you, I don't know, earlier this spring I bought these chains, and I think they were $60. The lawnmower would hardly go through the property because we're on a big hill here. It wouldn't go backwards at all. Well, now I'm going through briar patches and I'm towing a wagon here. So it has changed this like it's a four-wheel drive. I can't hardly get this thing stuck. It just plows over everything now. This right here changed the lawnmower into a tractor. So here I was trying to back up to the wood pile right there, and it was a lot of weight on the back of that lawnmower. But as you can see, it just tore into that dirt and finally got some traction, pushed right through it. both wheels was spinning. Really all you got to do to make that work on your lawnmower is you just kind of rock side to side over each tire. Not real hard, not real aggressive, and that makes each tire spin. And that way you can kind of get the traction on each tire and it'll pull you right out of that. It's not hard at all. But those chains made all the difference in the world. I actually didn't think I was going to be able to use that lawnmower when I first got it. I remember I came over here with some rocks. I was going to throw some rocks out here in the woods without the chains. And this is all flat right here. And it got stuck. It couldn't pull it up. Like I said, I haven't gotten stuck since I got the chain. So this is the well house. I showed you that I built the well house back in the spring. I'm going to build the shed over the root cellar just like this. It's going to be identical. We're going to buy the same material, that way it all matches. This was really easy to build. I just built each wall, then I brought it over here, assembled the walls, I built the roof independently, and then just put the roof on. So I'm going to build it taller, of course. It won't blow away. Everybody keeps saying, oh, it's going to blow away, it's going to blow away. It doesn't blow away because I drove stakes into the ground. So there's a stake there, a stake over there. I drove them in there. When the wind blows, it just goes right into that stake. But I just use, you know, pipe that you would use for your gas pipes in your house, and it has held steady. Just plastic roofing material you buy at Lowe's, and I've got the clear stuff on my porch. This stuff I tried to match the house. It's a little lighter than the house, but it's close. So I hope I can inspire you to modify the little things, to make them big, so you can live your dream. Thanks for watching.